Hello. Good morning, good evening to everyone who's watching here. We talk a lot of things right now. We talk a lot about the new normal. What is the new normal, or the word new normal? Is it acceptable? New normal in businesses, new normal work, new normal in our activities, and more specifically, since this is MMA Davao, we will talk about the new normal per se in the
Mm,
world of BJJ, lalo na sa Pilipinas. So if this
mhm.
interests you, stay tuned as me and my guest, the BJJ Black Belt, who has an academy in the Philippines, will talk about this. So stay tuned mga kaibigan. By the way, I'm Doc Vince, and I would like to welcome all of you, welcome everyone here, where my advocacy is to share updates, share articles, share videos, talk about relevant issues, and from time to time, share videos related to health and specifically martial arts. And this evening, we are going to talk about. We have a special guest, and we were really going to talk about anything that is related to BJJ in the Philippines. So our guest for tonight is Ribeiro, International Black Belt, IMMAF, IMMAF coach. He's a podcaster, travel and food writer. He is a program director. So please, ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome our guest for this evening, Mr. Franco Rolluda. Franco, how are you,
Hey,
Professor?
what's up? What's up? Hi, Doc Vince. Thank you so much for having me on your show, and good evening to everyone who's listening or who's watching this. I really appreciate you guys doing this.
Much appreciated. Maraming salamat for giving time at for guesting here. Now, um, uh, new normal. That's the word. That's the new word right now. But
uh,
before going to new normal, um, unahin ko muna. We would like to know more about you, Franco. Maybe you could introduce yourself. Talk more about how you started with the martial arts. Paano
mhm.
nagsimula?
uh, that's a very long story. So
Make
ano
it
lang
short.
yan? Okay. So thank you so much, Doc Vince, for having me over. Davao holds a special place in my heart because I'm part of DEFTA Philippines, and we are under Ribeiro International. So that's under Saulo Ribeiro. And like what I said, that's the one of the reasons why Davao is close to my heart because we have a chapter in Davao. So there's DEFTA Davao, and then they're one of the pioneer groups in terms of spreading the word of jiu-jitsu and MMA in the Davao region, and then it grew, and then Davao grew, and Davao has produced a lot of jiu-jitsu athletes and elite MMA fighters. So this is something that's why I'm very thankful for Doc having me over because I know the martial arts scene in Davao, and I really love it there. Now, my journey in martial arts stemmed when I was like 7 years old. I'm a striker by base,
Mm.
so I started with boxing and then delved into Muay Thai and then did Taekwondo. And then I got exposed to different Filipino martial arts. And then college was my very first introduction into the entire scope or the kumbaga the realm of different martial arts and combat systems. And then that's where I met Alvin. And then I got into jiu-jitsu and I got really hooked into it. Um, During college, I was like parang ano to sparingly. This was like yung kasikatan ng mga quote unquote underground fights noon.
Hmm.
And then there were a lot of gym challenges, and then there were
What,
a
what
lot of
what year was that?
dojo. Wala pa to.
90s?
2000. I was in college, mga 2002 eh. So it wasn't really
Oh,
as
wow.
as bad as it seemed, or kung ang gaano ka hyped up ng mga kwento. Yung mga ganon, it's just one gym going to another gym sparring,
Right.
or one gym will go. Siguro I'm like probably the last batch na merong mga ganong klaseng ano. Kasi ngayon there are a lot of platforms already. There are a lot of tournaments out there that
Right,
people
right,
can
right,
join
right,
eh, di ba?
right.
And then yun. I basically trained and fought in boxing, in Muay Thai, in wrestling, in Jiu-Jitsu, in MMA. So the martial arts is really a huge part of my life, and it's still part of my lifestyle. Then through the years, it developed from not just being a practitioner. I became a competitor, and then afterwards, it transcended into coaching.
Did you
So
went
yeah,
into
that
MMA fight, pro fight?
no. I had a day job. I was doing everything while having a day job. So if
Oh,
I went pro, that would
that
go
would be
against
difficult, right?
my and yeah, tsaka bawal siya sa opisina namin noon. So and then
Oh,
it and ano, I had to be realistic din naman eh. A lot of people said na there's so much potential, there's so much yeah, pero given the landscape and the time I was training and I was competing, MMA was relatively like it's in its infancy back then. So there wasn't really a viable career out of it. So I'm like I was just being realistic, and then
mm.
and that and the growth of the MMA industry and the growth of the MMA community developed into what it is today. So now, siguro, there's probably a bunch or a handful of people who can really say na they can make a livelihood out of fighting. Pero yun nga, back then, no. So I was very realistic. I was very self-aware. So like, okay, I enjoy fighting. I don't
Mm.
mind fighting and competing. Pero yun nga, I had to be real with myself na, okay, I have to support my loved ones. I have to support my
Your
family.
family.
And yeah, oh, and then I had a career. So, syempre, ito na lang yan eh. Pay off lang yan eh. Mas malaki bayad dun sa kabila. So, dun muna tayo.
Hey, other than being a martial artist, I do believe you own an academy. Am I right?
Hindi naman. That's like in the works later on pa. Pero
Ah, okay.
I do coach in three DefTech chapters. So that's DefTech Makati, DefTech Rockwell, and DefTech Better Living. So these are the story behind that is I'm a byproduct of DefTech headquarters, which is in Sukat. So that's in Banff MMA gym.
Mm.
So the thing about Alvin is he's a very good teacher, he's a very good coach. And one of the reasons why he's a very good coach is because he's gonna mold you into coaching. As in, believe it or not, when I was a blue belt, me and my batchmates were like, no, we'll just keep on fighting, we'll just keep on competing, we'll join competitions and win them all. But
Mm.
Alvin made sure na no, whether you like it or not, you're gonna learn how to teach a class. You're gonna learn how to teach a person. So
Oh,
he taught all of us how to teach a group dynamic and how to teach an individual. So whether yun nga, yun yung words niya, whether you like it or not, you're gonna have to learn how to teach. Kasi
you were
kasi
groomed to teach in a way.
oh, we were all of us. That's the culture of DefTA. You're all
Mm.
groomed to teach because the philosophy of the team and the community is whatever knowledge is with you should be shared. No questions asked. It should the knowledge and the transfer of knowledge should not stop on you. You should
Mm.
be able to pass it on. It's your duty to pass it on. It's your duty and your responsibility to teach lower belts. It's your responsibility and you are held accountable for grooming lower belts, making sure that they train in a safe environment and they don't feel left out. Yun. I mean,
Right, right.
I don't know with other teams, pero sa amin, that's the environment I grew up in. So to be honest, I never really thought of myself as a coach. I never saw myself teaching a class. I've always been a competitor. I've always been a fighter. So now, looking back, parang okay, parang that idea bit me in the ass. Okay, look at me now, teaching class, doing seminars. Parang labo nun ah. So ayun, and then those three chapters kasi,
Uh,
I worked in Makati and BGC, so those were the chapters that were very convenient for me. So yun, and like that. So DevTech headquarters, a lot of my batchmates. So we all dedicate once or twice a month to all come together in the gym so that Alvin will teach us how to improve techniques, any updates on concepts, and then he never stopped teaching teachers. Ganon.
Oh.
So, kaya mandatory yun. Once or twice a month, we all have to go to the headquarters, tapos i-update niya kami, and then he's gonna ask how everyone is doing. Kasi nga, that's the natural progression. You learn, you fight, you compete, and then eventually you will have your own chapter,
Yeah,
or
and
you will start teaching. So ganon. That's I ended up teaching in 3 chapters, so I divide my time there. On top of that, I do MMA seminars and jiu-jitsu seminars, self-defense seminars. I mean,
mm,
my time revolves around that. Kaya nga ano eh, ang, ang hirap when people ask me kasi some people know me in the, yan, I do some travel writing. Tapos I have a podcast.
right,
I
right.
started my podcast like 2 years ago. So I'm doing a lot of things and I'm enjoying it. I really enjoy it a lot.
Now, you talked about when you started, gusto mo lang competition, laban.
Mm.
How did it felt for you when you got your first, when you got your blue belt sa BJJ? What what
Uh,
was? Do you still remember
yeah.
when was it Alvin who
This,
gave you the blue belt?
yeah, all my belts, Alvin.
Oh, how did it felt when
I
you were you surprised or what? Can you paint
uh
the picture for us?
Ito yun, when the blue belt is always the one of the more memorable belts for you kasi it's sort of validates your training.
Mm-hmm.
Diba? It sort of gives you that certain level of validation na okay, medyo legit ka na kasi hindi ka na white belt eh.
Mm-hmm.
Diba? But with that promotion, of course, I was super happy. I never expected it kasi promotions in our team are not announced, and
Yep.
you'll never know when you'll be promoted. And then it just gives you that sense of accomplishment na you really earned it. One of the best lessons that I learned through all those promotions is that everything that I did in my life, I've earned it. Nothing was ever handed to me, so I had to work really hard for it, and I know I've worked hard for it. Now, this is something. So, in as much as I celebrated that, my coaches and Alvin also gave us the yung parang nag-real talk din sila. Parang sige, nag-celebrate ako like, syempre, tuwan-tuwa ako eh. I got my blue belt and I got my blue belt in 2011. And back then, in 2011, di ba, parang big deal na pag nagka-blue belt ka eh. Pero when I got back into the gym, he just gave me the lowdown. As in, I remember Alvin, Professor Pichon Garcia, Professor Richard Lasprilla, they all told me, it's good that you enjoy that belt, but always remember that is the belt that's the most difficult belt to remove from your waist. Kasi you learn a lot about yourself in that period. You will come at a pitchfork in every in a lot of situations with that belt. You will learn more about yourself than jiu-jitsu with that belt. Kasi for me, I had a better understanding of it when I was a brown belt na, believe it or not. And that's the knowledge and the lesson that I pass on to newly minted blue belts na congratulations, I'm very happy for you. And then syempre, you let them celebrate for like 2 to 3 days. And then afterwards, you bring them back to reality na that's the hardest belt to remove from your waist. Kasi that's the ego check belt.
Right.
Diba?
Right.
You will be exposed to yourself. Diba? I give them the lowdown on everything. I've always been the real talk kind of guy. Diba? And I always tell them, diba? At any time that you feel discouraged, anytime that you feel that you're not enough, you're inadequate, you don't deserve it, diba? Especially during the days that you feel like you don't deserve it, diba? Feel that way. Pero on the flip side, you earn it, 'di ba? Kung feeling mo you don't deserve it, then earn it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that gives you enough motivation and desire to go back to the gym. Because at the end of the day, a belt is a belt, 'di ba? It's nothing. When I got my black belt, that's what I realized. A belt is nothing. A belt does not define me. 'Di ba? What really defines me is the work I put in
Mm-hmm.
and and the things that I've accomplished along the way. So I mean, when you get your blue belt, yes, you've achieved something, but that doesn't mean you're shit. That doesn't mean you're the shit, diba? That doesn't mean anything actually. So
You did mention
enjoy the
2011.
process lang talaga.
Ay,
Enjoy the process lang talaga. You just really have to enjoy the process.
I agree. On yung 20, you did mention 2011. 2011. Kabatch ka ni or kay Attorney Paulo, Miguel.
Yes, Java. Yes. Paulo Javier is my batchmate. Si
There you
Java, si
go.
attorney Java. Oh.
Oh, si Java.
We're schoolmates and ano pa, village mates pa kami. We've known each other for the longest time.
Yeah. Because when I got back to the Philippines, 2009 or
Mm-hmm.
2010, then
Mm.
I guess 2010 or 11 nag-start si Java sa Davao. Uh,
He
um,
established DefTac Davao.
yeah, I remember that because I was with another gym. I was teaching Muay Thai and
Mm-hmm.
combatives, and then
Mm-hmm.
he was on the other gym. I forgot the
Yeah.
name of that gym, and he was doing DefTac. So sabi ko,
Yeah.
oh, okay to at least the MMA scene, BJJ scene is
It's
growing in
growing.
Davao.
Mm-hmm.
Because dito states it has been what for
Yeah,
matagal na,
sa
even
state
lalo
sobrang
na sa
laki.
Manila.
Oo.
Oo. So sabi ko, it's a good thing that somebody started there sa Davao.
Mm-hmm.
I remember si
Yep.
Java, nagkita pa kami sa kuan eh. Anyway, that was what, 10 years ago. Nakita kami dyan sa
Mm-hmm.
Manila. Now, you
Mm-hmm.
did mention about having that black belt and then you realize that, there's more to it na hindi
Yeah.
parang yeah, hindi pala to. And then you realize
Mm.
I'm more of like a student siguro 'cause you want to learn more and teach
Mm-hmm.
more.
Mm-hmm.
And,
Mm-hmm.
and when did you get your black belt?
I got my black belt last year. Tama ba?
2 years
Let me
ago?
check. Parang 2 years ago. 2 years ago or a
Oh.
year ago? Parang a year ago ata. Tama.
What,
Ay, last year. Last year.
there are different scenes when getting a black belt. Was it in a gym or after a competition? How did it?
No, it was in the gym. It was in the gym. DefTac is very traditional.
Oh, okay.
So it happens in all promotions happen in the gym. Meron syempre mga tournament promotions, it happens because it's also part of the jiu-jitsu tradition. Pero
Mhm.
majority of promotions happen in the gym. And I wouldn't have it any other way. Na it has to happen in the gym. Kasi syempre you get to share that moment with your fellow coaches,
Right,
you
right,
get to share that moment with your students. I mean, these are the people that you are with every day. So it gives more sentimental value. I mean, that's just for me. A lot of yung iba syempre mas maganda yung feeling pag sa tournament. Pero ako
right.
I really really enjoyed it. And I'm very happy na Alvin did that uh, in a gym setting, kumbaga. Kasi I compete every time. Di ko na nga
Mhm.
malaman, mabilang ko ilang tournaments sinalihan ko.
Right, right, right. I hope you won't mind, but ilang black belts na ngayon ang nandyan sa Pinas sa
Ito yun,
organization?
believe it or not, in a population of 105 million Filipinos, there are less than 50 black belts in the Philippines. That's a
That's
very
sa DefTac or
sa DevTech naman, I think we have 21
oh
or
wow.
20 black belts. Oh, yan. We have probably less than siguro mga nasa ganon. 19 or 20. Di ko sure pero nasa
Mhm.
ganong number. Nasa ganong number. Uh, kasi you have to understand that DefTech is a very old team. It pioneered MMA and BJJ here in the Philippines. So we were like kind of ahead of the curve. Of
Mhm,
course,
mhm.
there are other teams out there. They are really really good. Pero syempre, the timeline of their progression is different from ours. Kaya rin siguro what do you call this? Kaya rin siguro mas mabilis yung progression namin. And of course, we have Alvin. Alvin is the very first BJJ black belt in the Philippines.
Mhm.
So that was to our advantage, definitely.
Yeah,
Pero I mean, the other teams are really good. I mean, DefTech wouldn't be at the level they're in or we are in right now if not for the competitors that we have. We all make each other better.
yeah, and that's
Mm-hmm.
the thing. We need something like more of partners.
Mm.
Kaya
Competition is good. I mean,
competition is
I
really good.
don't. Oh, me, believe it or not, yung mga kabatch ko, a lot of them are coaches as well. When we see each other outside, we all hug, swap stories, we swap jokes. We mock each other.
Mhm.
As in gaguhan levels because we have mutual respect and love for each other. Pero we all know, at least I could definitely state for my batch, yan, I've fought Glenn Torrejas so many times. I've fought Coach Aldo Vergel de Dios. I've fought Eros. I've fought G and
Mhm.
D. We all see each other out when we go out Fridays or Saturdays. We'd share a drink. Pero during tournaments, we would literally kill each other. As in, ganon. So, if there's something that people, I mean, we're in the Conor McGregor era where people trash talk a lot, eh. Diba? And for us, it's fine. I mean, we enjoy it. Kasi kami, we did it back then. As in, I came from an era where you could trash talk your opponent while you're grappling. Ngayon, bawal
Right,
na
right.
eh.
Oh,
Ngayon,
bawal
bawal
na
na
ngayon?
eh.
I don't know
Bawal na
about that.
ngayon. Dito sa bawal. Pero
Oh,
I was fortunate enough to have enjoyed that moment.
oh,
So,
yun yung
so
nakakatuwa
ganon.
dun eh.
Oh, so we were all intense, and we carry
Right,
that. Like
right.
for example, diba? I'd compete against my fellow peers and coaches from other teams. We'd really go after each other, pero it stays there. So that's something that I hope the younger generations or the up and comers to realize na when you talk trash, that's fine. Just make sure it doesn't get into a personal level. Kasi yung iba minsan nagkakapikunan talaga eh. And normally kami doon kami natatawa eh kasi they just started talking trash over social media and now they just really hate each other. Medyo,
Oo. Eh, yun yung nakakatawa dun kasi when you grapple or when you compete, when you fight, during that time,
hmm.
you say, you trash talk, blah, 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 blah. It
Oh,
makes more fun during the
yeah, for
competition.
us it was fun. A
And then
lot of
after
us
that,
during
you just,
wala
you
na,
hug each
okay na.
other. Wala na.
You hug each other,
Everything's
you
left
hug
in
it
the past.
out. Oh, yung iba ngayon nakikita ko parang minsan nagkakapikunan pa. Believe it or not, it happens. It happens.
Yeah, yeah.
The best referees out there, yeah, sila Professor TJ Sulit, si Professor BJ Nang, Coach Aldo Verel de Dios, they have a lot of really good referee stories, man.
One more person I remembered when URCC came sa Davao. I forgot his first name, but I remember his moniker, si Dancing Devil.
Si Richard Lasprilla.
Oh, si
That guy is
Richard.
a
How's
Richard
Richard? Where
Lasprilla.
is he?
He's a black belt now. He's a black belt now, and we chapter I co manage DefTech Rockwell with him. He's the chapter head of DefTech
Oh.
Rockwell. You can't say anything. Nothing will ever be enough to describe the Dancing Devil. I mean, Richard Lasprilla is an icon. He's a living legend. I mean, for those who don't know him, he
Uh,
has contributed so much in the growth of mixed martial arts and Brazilian Jiu Jitsu here in the Philippines. Yun din, what made my black belt ceremony more sentimental and memorable was because he was there. He was supposed to teach class, pero he went to the chapter wherein I was teaching, and he was
uh,
there to promote me to black belt.
and
So,
nauna siya na black belt sa'yo? Oh, di
nauna
ba?
siya sa akin.
Oo.
Tsaka he's been a very good source of guidance. When we were all fighting in striking or in MMA, he would always be there. I couldn't uh, count na how many times he would snap me out of being nervous or being anxious before a tournament. He's a very good a source of motivation, and he's a guiding force in the team.
My next question sa'yo, other than we
Mm,
talked about sa mga sila Paolo, si Richard.
mm.
What's your go-to submission when you compete? How
Me, ever since I've always loved doing kimuras. I've always loved taking people's backs, and that really hasn't changed. Uh, Believe it or not, if you ask around, everybody knows what I do during tournaments. I'd take you down, I'd pass your guard, and I'd submit you. I've been doing that since I was a blue belt or a white belt. Hindi, white belt formative years yan eh. I've been doing that since I was a blue belt up until now.
Mm.
Hasn't changed. Hasn't changed.
Kasi,
Yeah,
yan
I'm
yung
very
automatic
predictable.
sa atin. Like, this guy, you should watch for
Mm,
his kimura or you should
mm,
watch for his sweeps.
yeah.
And the thing is like, there's always a go to submission. And if you're
Mm,
doing it for quite some time, even if people really knows about
yep.
your move, it doesn't matter because you can get it
Yeah.
in any way or form or
Mm-hmm.
wherever you are. Am I right?
Yep. 100%. 100%, Doc. Kasi, Doc, ito yan eh. That's the reason why we do repetitions. That's the reason why we do drills. Kasi everything that we do has to be ingrained in our muscle memory. It has to reach a point of recognition and ang tawag ito, being ingrained in our bodies na we could do it while we're sleeping.
Right.
I'll be the first to tell you na I have a limited array of submissions. I have a limited array of sweeps. I have a limited array of passes. I mean, mas maraming tao out there, not just in my team, but in other teams that have more options. They know more. They know more techniques. They know more submissions than I do. It just so happens na everything that I know and everything that I've learned, I constantly work on it all the time. So it's like one of those Bruce Lee cliches na fear not the man who does one kick,
A thousand
10,000 kicks a
times.
few times and then
Yep.
practices one kick 10,000 times. So I'm that guy. I've always done kimuras. I've always done chokes. I've always done a lot of takedowns and passing concepts. So a lot of people know that I'm not gonna pull guard on you. I've never pulled guard. So yun yun. Again, yun yung as in coaching, you hear the opposing coach, alam na nila. As in they own, sasabihin na nila kagad, oh, iti-take down ka niyan, iti-take down ka niyan. Because I'll never pull guard. I mean, that's just who I am. That's how I train. That's how I compete and practice. So that's definitely how I will perform during competition. Pero syempre, while training or I'm in the gym, syempre,
Mm.
I'll try other things.
Right, 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 right.
I have to be familiar with everything, di
Mm-hmm.
ba? Lalo na I'm coaching and I'm teaching. I have to be able to understand the concepts behind a sweep or a submission in order to convey the message to my students, di ba?
Now, you did mention you before this whole pandemic thing came, you've
Mhm.
been doing a lot of things. You're
Mhm.
you're you're teaching at least three academies.
Mhm.
You have your podcast and all of those stuff.
Mhm.
And this pandemic came,
Mhm.
lockdown lahat.
Fucked everything up. Messed everything up.
Can you paint the picture for us?
Mm.
Dur- What happened to the gyms that you manage or you
Well,
help?
ito lang yun eh. Everything is closed. All gyms are closed right now. As of this conversation, I think they're gonna allow a few gyms to open ng August by August. So we don't know what are gonna be the guidelines that will be laid down by the government in terms of
Mm.
ano ba tayo? Are we gonna open at 30% capacity? For sure, it's gonna be at 30% capacity, and then eventually they'll hike it up to 50 and then 100. For the most part, since the lockdown started or the quarantine period started, all the gyms are of course closed. So, ayun, people are
When, when,
doing
when,
other things.
ilang months na ba nag-lockdown dyan sa
I
atin?
think it's like 3 or 4 months.
Oh, wow.
No, ganun. No, it's like 3 or 4 months. So it's a very sad thing kasi ito lang yun eh. A lot of people are losing their jobs. A lot of small businesses are closing. A lot of big establishments are closing, and I mean, it will really test your resolve. Eh? It will really test your resolve. Eh? I just really feel for those establishments that close down, and then for us, syempre, in the MMA and the jiu-jitsu community, we're all ready to train. We just want to go back to the gym, pero wala pa. Gyms are still closed. Everyone's training at home, so everything is pivoted into online modules and online training. Pero I mean, I will definitely say this na, I mean, it's not the same. Diba? It's not the
Mm.
same. Kaya nga, I mean, prior to going live, we were already discussing and everyone's telling me na new normal, new normal. I'm a very vocal person. I mean, one of the very vocal proponents of not accepting new
The new
normal.
normal.
Oo, kasi ano siya di ba? I mean, it's such a brainwashing thing, di ba? It's preconditioning your mind into accepting what is happening now. Yes, there is a pandemic. Yes, there is a virus out there. Pero ito yun this is human adaptation to deal with a crisis. So it's not a new normal. Kasi ako, deep in my heart, I will forever refuse to accept the fact that I cannot hug someone, that I cannot go to my friend and give him a hug, or I will not be able to go inside the room and conduct a class. I'll
Mm.
never accept the fact na people are not gonna congregate into one room and make each other better. Diba? We're social beings. Humans are social beings. And we need interaction. Diba? In as much as technology is aiding us to have this conversation, like right now, you're in the United States of America. I'm here in Manila. Diba? It's very convenient. Pero it will never be a very good substitute to human contact or human interaction.
Or face to
Diba?
face
Something,
talaga.
oh, face to face, diba? It builds rapport, it builds a relationship, there's a
Right.
connection, diba? There's a live connection. So, diba? We are there's so many things din naman kasi there's so many information that's being brought into everyone's attention. A lot of them are good, a lot of them are bad. Diba? I just don't want people to live in fear because that's what everyone is making us do. Diba?
That's
Parang
what they're
you're
doing
all
right now.
being, yeah, diba? That you're being forced to live in fear. All of a sudden, diba? Everyone's too clean. Kaya nga when I remember attending this one forum and people were like hyping their we're sanitizing, we're cleaning so often, ganyan, ganyan, ganyan. So parang ako, I was like, um, I kasi sinabi ko talaga na parang wala akong contribute. I don't really have a contribution to this conversation kasi we've been doing that cleaning thing since day one. Sabi ko, MMA and jiu-jitsu gyms give so
Always.
much premium on cleanliness and sanitation kasi
Always. Yes.
uh I mean real talk lang, we're more afraid of staph and
Stuff.
ringworms and skin diseases than COVID. So like, there we go. I mean, good for you guys. You're cleaning your gyms now, but for us, we've been cleaning our gym since day one. So like, we've been cleaning, we've been disinfecting. Everyone's practicing good hygiene since day one.
And nagiging biro pa nga kapag nagkakaroon ng stuff like, oh, ang dugyot mo, saan mo
Oh,
nakuha yan? Where did you get it? But it's not in our
diba?
gym.
Yeah, exactly, diba? So I'm like, even with the, diba? I don't know if you try to browse on like fast food commercials here in Manila or in the Philippines right now.
Uh,
They're putting a lot of premium on how clean their establishments are, and I was like,
oh,
hindi ba dapat malinis kayo ever since?
ever since. Yeah.
Di ba dapat malinis kayo ever since? Bakit all of a sudden ngayon may commercial kayo how clean your establishments are?
Eh,
Pero again, di ba,
going
it's
back,
reinforced.
yeah,
Oh,
going
going
back,
back, Doc.
you said new normal. It's like being a martial arts practitioner. When you say new normal, it's like you're already giving up. You're already submitting to the
Mm,
concept.
yeah,
If you're like, you've been really competitive for most of your life, it's like, I cannot accept this. How can this
yeah.
be? How can this be normal? For me, it's not
Mm-hmm.
normal.
Yep.
For you, it might be.
100%, Doc. 100%. Di
And,
ba?
and,
Kasi,
oh, go ahead.
hindi, kasi ito lang yun eh. Parang, everyone's saying, let's wait for a vaccine, let's wait for a vaccine. And Joe Rogan with his episode with Dr. Rhonda Patrick gave a very good
Yeah,
point na parang,
it's a vitamin D.
I don't know if how everything is treated there in the US, pero for us here in the Philippines kasi masyadong mataas yung fear campaign for me lang, this is just how I observe things. There's so much hype on the fear campaign. And ito rin yun it's a two-pronged thing. Syempre, this is a new thing for the government. They don't know what they're doing. They don't know what to do. And at the same time, marami rin talaga mga Pilipinong pasaway. Pero, uh, Dr. Rhonda Patrick, like aside from the vitamin D deficiency, they all raised a valid point we're in, and I totally agree with them. Na parang why if you know how a virus works, diba? You know that your body can fight it off. So why don't we do this campaign? Let's just all increase our immune systems, diba? Let's just make all our bodies stronger. Because our bodies are capable of doing this, diba? Our bodies are capable of fighting off viruses. And I mean, viruses will always be there. Diba?
Right.
Nandyan yan. It's not gonna go away. It's just that our bodies will adapt to it. Kaya I really, really advocate the idea of boosting your immune system,
There you
getting some
go.
sun, diba?
There you
Getting
go.
sun in the morning or sa hapon, and then eating a lot of the good stuff. I mean, I don't really love vegetables and fruits, but I have to eat them. Kasi it's good for your body. Plain and
Oh,
simple, 'di
yeah,
ba?
yeah, yeah.
Kainin mo siya kasi it's good for your body. And then you have to take your vitamins, you have to exercise, 'di ba? I mean, it's basic eh. Ngayon, one of the little things that made people realize is health is wealth talaga.
Always.
'Di ba? 'Di ba? Health is wealth talaga. If now more than ever. Kasi a lot of the fatalities with this pandemic are people with comorbidities. They have an underlying symptom, or they've been sick, or they're like obese, or they're like couch potatoes. So mas mabilis ma-compromise yung immune system nila. So why don't we do the inverse of that? Let's all make our immune systems stronger.
Yeah.
'Di ba? And it's very simple. 'Di ba? I mean, buy vegetables instead of buying junk food, and instead of drinking a lot of stuff, sugary drinks, just drink a lot of water or have a fruit smoothie. Diba? It's
Alkaline
the same
water.
thing. Alkaline water. Diba? Diba? I mean, with kaya ako during what do you call this, when this whole quarantine thing started, and I had to read up on yan the Nate, kasi ang dami nagdedebate over the internet na you can beat it with this, you do. So I do my best to break down everything in its basic concept and its core principles. So okay, this is a virus. So how is a virus create? What creates a virus, or how it is cultivated? How do you beat it? So
Mm-hmm.
far, okay, yun naman pala eh. Diba? In as much as instead of waiting 2 to 3 years for a vaccine, why don't we make our bodies stronger? Our
Yep.
bodies are capable of it naman pala. So yun, me and my fellow coaches would say, guys, let's always drink water, avoid the non-healthy stuff. This is the we let's all focus on getting healthier. Let's keep
Mm-hmm.
exercising even at home. Diba? If you're living in a condo, make sure na you get some sunlight, walk outside, diba? It's all about ano eh. Do not be sedentary.
Right.
Diba? Don't
Right.
live
Right.
in
Right.
fear. Diba? Don't live in fear. I think that's the more important thing. Do not live in fear.
And
Kasi mahirap yun eh.
I totally agree on you because almost hindi lang sa Pilipinas, it's more of a global thing wherein they would,
Mm-hmm.
talk about vaccine, fear,
Mm-hmm.
stay in your house, lockdowns, and all of
Mm-hmm.
those stuff. But rarely would you hear people or even like, leaders talking about trying to boost your immune system.
Mm.
Yeah, even like the Ministry of Health or Department of Health or whoever it is, they
Mm-hmm.
seldom do they talk about, okay, the best thing to do right now, since there's no vaccine or there's no cure, try to boost your immune system, exercise,
Mm-hmm.
supplements, and all of
Yeah.
those stuff. Less stress. You even like having a lockdown, it even predisposes you to decrease your immune system. Lalo
Yes.
na tambay
Very
ka sa
true.
bahay, you don't do anything. Go ahead.
Tsaka ano
You were
pala
about
yun,
to say
Doc, ah?
something?
I mean, you correct me if I'm wrong, Doc. Like, since everyone's forced to live inside, 'Di ba? It decreases your body's ability to interact with your surroundings. 'Di ba? So since ganun yung nangyayari, mas bumababa there's a higher chance that your immunity will go down, 'di ba? Or will be lowered, 'di ba? Kasi ito lang 'yan eh. Uh again, I'm probably talking out of my ass, pero ito 'yon. So you're inside your house, praning ka, you'll clean a lot, so now your house is super clean. Your body's gonna be accustomed to that level of cleanliness, 'di ba? Then all of a sudden, when the government says, or
It's open.
when W says, okay guys, everything's open, we can all go out. Then suddenly you go out. Do you think na the drastic change in environment is not gonna affect your body? Of course it will. Diba? You're gonna be reintroducing certain pathogens, like microbacteria and microviruses into your system. Siyempre, there will be a higher chance talaga na magkasakit ka, di ba?
Mhm,
Kasi
mhm.
you've been incubated for so long.
Oh yeah,
Kaya
yeah, yeah.
kaya kami, I mean, kasi naman we've been doing it ever since eh. I mean, for us, for us here in the martial arts industry, nobody really stopped. Nobody really stopped. I'm very happy to see people doing home workouts. They're going in their garage and they're lifting weights. They're doing kettlebells. So the people who practice that lifestyle are just continuing it. They're just, diba? They're just keeping the momentum. Kaya ako, in the martial arts industry, parang halos wala. Halos wala akong
Mhm.
narinig na tinamaan.
Kung
Kasi we've
kung
been living
meron man
that lifestyle.
tinamaan, if kung meron man
For
tinamaan,
sure we can beat it. For sure we can beat it.
wala.
For sure we
Uh,
can beat it. 100%.
Merong there's one BJJ instructor. He's a really good friend of mine, and I haven't heard for him. I haven't heard about him for what 3 4 weeks. Because most of the
Mm-hmm.
time we communicate.
Mm-hmm.
That was last night. He's like, "Do you know what happened to me?" He's like, "What?
Mm.
I got COVID 4 weeks."
How was
Okay.
it? How was it
So
now?
how was it? Well, I'm okay now. I'm just here. Now I'm negative. It's like, is it
Mm-hmm.
that bad? It's like, yeah,
No.
it's bad because I'm just restricted on my room. But the thing is,
um.
like, if you're really healthy,
Mhm.
you do the right thing, like you exercise, keep on doing that. You have your proper supplements. It really won't bother you if you get hit by COVID as long as you do the right thing.
Yeah, I co-host this other podcast with Destroy MNL. So we kind of do weekly updates around the combat sports scene. There's
Mm.
one Filipino boxer. He's in Las Vegas. I'm so sorry, I forgot his name. I'm really bad with names. Uh, a- Parang before weigh-ins or after weigh-ins, he was positive for COVID. So his fight is off.
Mhm.
Pero when he was interviewed, he said, I don't know. Sabi niya, I don't get it. Parang in his words pa nga, parang ang OA naman nila. Tumakbo pa ako eh. Sabi niya, I went jogging, I went training, I'm like, I'm okay. I feel okay. So it kind of gives you a certain level of perspective on how this virus affects people and how
Mhm.
people react to it based on their fitness level. So more than anything talaga, I really hope that this crisis will open people's eyes on how important it is to take care of your body. 'Di ba? You really have to take care of your body. 'Di ba? Ano-ano ba naman yung I hear this a lot especially here sa Pilipinas, parang wala akong time, ang dami kong ginagawa. I'm like, dude, 'di ba?
But
Go to a park, 'di ba? Jog for 35 or 45 minutes to an hour. That's an hour. You have so much time.
right,
'Di ba?
right, right.
If you can binge watch anything on Netflix, you can go out for a 1 hour jog. It's free. It's free.
And because of this, yung 3 to 4 months na lockdown, you have been trying to inculcate this idea to your students na, keep on
Mhm.
training, build your immune system.
Mhm. Yeah. All the time. All the time. As in uh that's one thing about us jiu-jiteros and MMA coaches and MMA practitioners eh. We are in the business of understanding how the body works. So part of that lifestyle is geeking out on, okay, how do I improve my cardio? How do I build functional strength? How do I increase my mobility? How do I improve my agility?
Mm.
Okay? This is not like a 1 week thing. This is our life. Diba? This is our life. This is our life. Kaya nga siya lifestyle eh. This is what we do every day. So, apart from the daily routine of training, okay, comes the indoctrination to oneself na parang, okay, I have to like lie low on the junk food. Okay, I think I have to like minimize my soft drink intake kasi it affects my performance. Okay, I think I have to lean more towards like a more organic ang tawag dito, feeding program for myself, 'di ba? It's a constant journey. It's you'll make mistakes, but at the same time, everything that you're doing is geared towards making your body stronger, and that means, and a lot of that for me, a lot of that entails knowing how your body works. And with that comes ano, syempre, paano ka nga naman, how are you gonna train every day if you're always sick?
Right.
So, part
Right.
siya talaga, part siya ng lifestyle natin. And it's something na I'm very happy and thankful that I'm part of a team and my students are very, I mean, ano na lang siya eh, initiative na lang siya eh. Oh guys, I mean, we don't really have to spoon feed them information. For the longest time din naman, we all like, we don't really eat junk food. 'Di ba? Parang
Oh yeah.
we'll have our cravings, pero I'm very happy rin na I'm part of a team that competes regularly. So
Di ba?
ayun, so syempre you have to put in the good stuff and less of the bad stuff talaga.
Kasi you know what? Don't you feel like crap if you eat junk food and then you compete?
Yeah, totoo 'yan, totoo 'yan. As in ako,
And people
I
didn't really
love
don't know
food ah.
about that. Because
I
like,
love food. As in I
mm,
love food. So minsan talaga pag may craving lang ako I never deprive myself. So, once a month yeah, see, yung mga ganun, mga once or twice a month, I'll go have like a cheeseburger from McDonald's or Jollibee, or I'll have the French fries. So, kakainin ko yun, pero I'm like, okay, I'm gonna feel shitty later. Totoo siya! Like, after, parang,
I haven't eaten like regular the Burger King or McDo for quite some time. And then
mm.
after that, I said, okay, I'm gonna try one. And it's been like a
Uh,
couple of months. After that, para sabi, ano
you
ba
feel
tong
shitty
lasa na to?
talaga.
Ah, like you cringe after you eat. Like, oh Lord, like, I love it.
Parang,
But after that, like, you feel like really shitty.
yeah, yeah, super, super. Especially after you train, parang, why did I eat that?
Oo,
Pero I
oo,
mean,
oo.
kaya rin, ano, that's why, going back to what you previously said, di ba? Because of what we're doing, talagang, that, because you want to perform well in the gym, you want to perform well in competition, you have to take care of your body talaga.
And this is the thing, Prof. Most people don't know that I think most coaches, fighters, or MMA
Mm-hmm.
practitioners, BJJ practitioners are more aware of health and nutrition than
Yes.
some health
Yeah.
workers because
Uh,
we
100%.
really read about it, prepare for it, so that we could optimize our
Mm-hmm.
training. Di ba?
Couldn't agree more, Doc. Couldn't agree more. That's 100% true. Um, I can't blame health workers, or I don't want to blame doctors, or kasi there's a part, again, this is my opinion. There's just a part of me kasi na they live a templated life na parang, okay, especially the new ones na parang, okay, these are your symptoms. This is the prescribed treatment. Kasi it's either they were taught that way or they don't want to be sued. So parang, okay, this is like I have to cover my ass, or I don't know eh. I do not understand then why that is happening. Pero kasi ito lang yun eh. This happened like a long time ago. Merong na-dislocate yung shoulder. Nakimura siya during a MMA fight. So, ako kasi nag Red Cross ako eh. So nag first aid certification. So syempre ako, I had to stabilize the shoulder and I had to bring his arm across here para naka letter L lang. Then I was supporting the arm. For some weird reason, may isang nurse, sabi niya nurse daw siya. Tapos hinatak niya yung kamay na gano'n. Sabi ko, ha! So para ako, huy, Relax!
Oh,
Kasi gusto raw niya malaman kung ano raw yung extent ng damage. Sabi ko, wag na nating alamin. Dalhin mo na natin
dahil
siya
sa
sa
hospital.
ambulansya. Dalhin mo natin siya sa ambulansya. Dalhin natin siya dun sa medic, tsaka sa ambulansya, dun natin alamin.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
we're not saying that everyone is like that, pero yun nga eh. I don't know what is happening in the field of medicine, how they treat people, how they teach, how do they. Pero yun nga eh, a lot of us, believe it or not, in the martial arts industry, in the fitness industry, know more about them. It just
Lalo
so
na
happens
ngayon.
kasi that oh
Lalo na ngayon. Compared before, like we are
oh
more
yeah,
aware. Ngayon,
oh
kasi
yeah, for sure.
all the information is right there. We can just
Diba?
and we ourselves we teach among each other, students, coaches, ganito, how
Mm.
to deal with this. Meron pa mga waiver before we start doing things.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Kasi doc, ito yun believe it or not, meron when I was working corporate before, so we would be what do you call this? This just reinforces my templated story na nakikita ko when it comes to the medical field. Especially when it comes to yan, yung mga annual physical examinations for employees. So when I did my annual physical examination, I was preparing for ADCC. So I was in prime ano na, nagpipeak na ako noon. So condition ako noon. So I was eating healthy. I felt really good. I was ready. I was ready for that weekend talaga. I won gold that weekend.
Mm.
So it was my examination. So I weighed in, and then the doctor said, "Okay, you are at 71 kilograms. According here, you are overweight." Sabi ko, Doc. Sabi ko, Doc, are you fucking serious? Sabi ko, Doc, are you fucking serious? Look at me. Do I look
Bien.
like I'm overweight for you? So talagang inilagay niya sa report niya, overweight,
Mhm.
recommendations, take vitamins, regular exercise. I shit you not. Recommendation sa akin yon. So parang ako, I don't know if are they just going through the motions or or did they even really bother to look at me? I was like, as in, nasa scale kami
You were rich
sabi niya,
during that time.
oo, talagang ano, sabi ko, so, 71. Sa chart ko, sir, ano overweight ka kaya kailangan magbawas ka ng timbang. So, nagtaas ako ng shirt. Sabi ko, are you fucking kidding me? Sabi ko,
They don't
what do you
even bother
mean?
to look at your history, your physical
Exact,
activity,
yun.
what you have been doing.
I think that's a huge thing that people in the medical field should probably look into. We live in a world of charts and filled up forms na hindi siguro nila
Nakaka-hoard.
nakikita na parang what is your what is your lifestyle, 'di ba? Am I a couch potato? Am I a runner? Do I go to a gym, 'di
Right.
ba? So I don't know. So again, I'm talking out of my ass, pero that's one of my favorite stories when it comes to ano na parang 71 kilos overweight. Kasi when I got back to the office, I went to HR kasi
Uh,
sabi ko, that's what the doctor wrote down. Now you tell me. Sabi ko to sa HR na, do I look like I'm overweight? Sabi ko, do I really look overweight to you? Tapos tumawa lang siya kasi kaibigan ko naman siya. Sabi ko, do I
okay,
really look
alam
fucking
niya.
overweight to you? So tawa kami ng tawa. So I was like, yeah, you're fine, you're good. So I mean, it's very subjective. That's I think again, ikaw you'll probably have a better opinion than I am. Pero for me kasi, this is also something that I tell people when I just do one-on-one coaching. Kasi they always say, will going vegan be good for me? Doing keto, doing paleo. Sabi ko sa kanila lagi, fitness, health, nutrition is not a one size fits all thing. Um, you always have to listen to how your body reacts to stimulus. You always have to talk to your body. How do you really feel? At the end of the day, ako rin naman the progression of my understanding towards training evolves through the years. So parang dati I want to be bulky, I want to be strong. Then nag-transcend na siya na parang I have to be strong, but I also have to be agile. I have to be functional. I have
Yes.
to
Yeah.
I have to make sure na kumbaga from being just strong, 'di ba? Kasi you'll be in that meathead stage eh. Ngayon, like halfway through, para mga purple belt ako, na-realize ko, okay, dapat pala, that's when I started shifting my training to longevity na. This is, di ba, everybody can be strong for a certain time, but not I have, the real goal is to outlast everyone.
Mhm.
So that's where, like, believe it or not, 2000, 2013 or 14 was such a uh, transitionary period in my life. So I cut out all chemical supplementations. I've never taken any pre-workout,
Mhm.
post-workout thing. I shifted to organic supplementation kasi I read a lot of I did my research, and then I realized, especially here in the Philippines, we have so much masyadong maganda yung lupa sa Pilipinas. We have so many good ang tawag
Fertilizant
dito.
soil.
Oo, tsaka maganda yung nutrient factors ng mga gulay sa Pilipinas.
Mhm.
So I just strictly went to organic supplementation. So from 2013-14 up to now, puro organic supplementation ako, and I've never felt any better in my life. Kasi before, pre-workout ka, kalahating scoop, gising ka na. Maya-maya
Mhm.
nagtataka ako, apat na scoop na, parang hindi pa ako gising ah. Sabi ko. Then I had to, when I stopped it, I really felt crappy like for a month. Kasi syempre parang nagwi-withdrawal yung katawan mo
Yes,
from the
yes, yes,
dependency
yes.
on those things eh. So ayun, I just shifted to like organic supplementation, and then when it comes to my strength and conditioning, I do a lot of functional training, a lot of functional movements. I really adhere to the philosophy and the concepts of functional patterns. That's by Naudi Aguilar. And
Mhm.
by the name of the account on Instagram is Speed of Sport. Tama, Speed of Sport. Si ano yun? Damn it! Ba't ko nakalimutan yung pangalan ng taong yun? Nick Curson. Yeah, Nick Curson. So
Okay.
those are the two. Kasi for them, the philosophy behind their training is it's all about longevity. It's all about moving like a human being. So it's all about moving and tsaka natuwa ako eh, parang okay, bagay sa combat sports to kasi we don't move in a linear pattern eh.
Mhm.
We move in a very dynamic pattern. So dapat yung training regimen mo dynamic din,
Right.
'di ba?
Right.
So I I I don't know. I hope I'm making sense. Na
Yes,
parang
sir. Longevity is the word.
mm,
Like I do remember when I was in my 30s. Like I do my curls. Kaya 45 pounds. You do the bicep curls,
mhm.
and then right now I'm nasa 50 na tayo. When I do curls like 20 pounds, wala. Medyo
Mm. Hindi,
mahirap na.
Doc, believe it or not, since the time I told you, that's like 14, 15, 2014, 15, up until now, I've never done a deadlift na. I've never done a back squat or a front squat. Never. Di na. And I felt better actually. I really felt better. It was
Mm.
better on my knees. It was better on my back. Yung mga small tweaks na nararamdaman. I've never done a PR exercise. For me, well, kahit noon pa naman, never ako nag-PR kasi para sa akin, napaka-stupid nun. I mean, you go to a gym, you do a PR, yung mga personal record, you'll do a
Mm.
1 PR rep. I mean, do you even know how dangerous that is?
Right, 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 right.
kasi, kasi for what? For Instagram? Diba? So it's a very, pero ano eh, again, it's because of the industry. It's because of how people market themselves, and they just say na again, these are all templated exercises. These are regurgitated information, so that if there's new information that comes in, there's going to be a lot of blowback. So ako, I just make my results speak for themselves. I've fought in so many tournaments. I've only been injured once.
No. Wow.
Yeah.
Franco, we do have 5 minutes more. Like,
Okay.
you, it's like time really flies when you are into it.
Oh
5 minutes
yeah,
went by na
sobra. Yes, sobrang bilis ng oras,
Oh,
sobrang
bilis
bilis
ng
ng
oras
oras.
eh. I wish we could have more, but you know, uh, just last few questions.
Go.
We were really talking about yung nutrition and exercises that we have been doing
Mm,
to help us out.
mhm.
Um, do you do virtual trainings given this pandemic sa school nyo?
Yeah, I do.
Or instructionals
Everything
or what?
pivoted. Yeah, everything pivoted online. So when people just want to train, they just hit me up. They just message me, and then
Mhm.
sometimes it really depends. Now, it's either we do a group class or we do a one-on-one session. Ganon. Kasi for me, the most important thing is people keep moving. Diba? They all keep moving.
Right.
So a lot of the exercises that we do are maintenance exercises so that when
Mhm.
everything goes back to normal or when gyms are allowed to open, you don't feel na back to zero ka. You know
Right,
what I'm
right,
saying?
right, right,
So
right.
everything is so ako, I just keep telling people that attend my class or whoever trains with me na parang whatever it is that I'm making you do, this is to make sure that your body stays in shape so that when we all go back to training, you don't feel like you missed out on anything.
Mhm,
And
mhm.
I love the progress of everyone. I see that dati people have they say na prof dati I can't really bend over to this level or I started biking again. I mean these are really good stories. When I started running, I didn't really gas out.
Mhm.
Uh, I took my bike out. I didn't really get tired kagad. So it means na the workouts are working well for them. So I mean, we just have to keep moving. We just have to sustain the momentum, kumbaga.
And is there a news or anything like anong tawag nito, memo or announcement from the government? You did mention about
We're all
August
no, wala, we're all
magbubukas.
waiting pa. We're all
Wala.
waiting pa, Doc.
Mhm.
Initially, they said that they're gonna allow a few gyms to open by August. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what will be the final decision and what are going to be the guidelines towards
Yes.
opening gyms.
Kasi
I really hope
karamihan
so.
yan.
I really hope so.
Yeah, kasi maraming mga guidelines na lalabas yan eh. And then, you
Mhm.
will have inspectors kuno who thinks
Mm,
they know
mm.
what they're doing and checklist and all of
Oh,
those stuff.
this is where the jiu-jitsu community comes into play. The community factor, especially in the jiu-jitsu and the MMA scene is concerned. Since we all know each other, it's easier to have that conversation. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right,
You know,
right.
it's easier to have that conversation. It's easier for me to talk to my student or to talk to my team and say, did you go anywhere else? Diba? So that we can do a contact tracing just in
Contact
case. Diba?
tracing.
It's easier versus wala kang relationship dun sa tao. It feels like you're being invasive. Diba? And at the same time, since there's that community and family vibe, you'll take it upon yourself to be safe as well so that you won't affect your teammates. 'Di ba? So yun, this is where the community aspect of martial arts training comes into play. And for me, uh, this is where the martial arts community benefits a
Mhm.
lot from.
And eto, one last thing. I
Mhm.
did ask you, nakilala kita through your dad.
Mhm.
How's
Mhm.
your dad right now?
It's okay. It's doing good. Not bad. Not bad for an old man.
He's into still weight training or what?
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. He's
That's
a
his thing, right?
forever fitness guy. You know, we wouldn't know what we know about fitness and how the body works if not for him. He started everything for us. Kumbaga the curiosity and how to acquire knowledge. Okay, he started everything. So now it was up to us, or at least ako in my case, it was up to me to make sure na I had to have a better understanding. It was time I had to do my own research, 'di ba? Pero yun nga I came from an athletic background eh. I had good genes, kumbaga. So it's up to me to make it better. Yeah, it's my responsibility to reach its full potential or the potential that it's supposed to be at, so that the next generation will be better.
It's been a pleasure talking to you, Professor.
No, Doc, so much
You
fun
know,
doing this. Thank you so much for having
it's
me
like
here. Sobra,
we
sobra
we
saya,
have
saya.
been enjoying this kind of discussion, and sabi ko nga kulang talaga ang oras. Anyway,
So, Doc, anytime you need me, just message me. Let's do this again.
kung makauwi ako ng Pinas, no?
Dude, pag uwi ka ng Pinas, our gyms are open for you. Just pick one. Let's train. Let's train and
Cool,
let's eat
cool.
after. I'm good with that. I'm good with that. Let's go.
Now, thank you so much again. Now, how can they contact you, your social media account? And please
Right.
give a shout out to your friends. I'll give the frame to you.
Again, to everyone who is watching and listening, thank you for bearing with us. And please make sure to follow MMA Davao. It's a very good community, it's a very good channel. Shout out to all the Davaoenos. You guys rock. I can't wait to go back there. You can find me on Facebook. Just like my page, it's just type in Coach Franco Rolluda. I'm also on Instagram. It's at Franco Rolluda, FrancoRolluda. And if it's not too much to ask, please subscribe to my channel on YouTube. Just type my name, Franco Rolluda. My podcast episodes are there. I do breakdown videos, and I've been getting a lot of positive feedback. So again, thank you so much, everybody. Thank you, Doc. Thank you so much for doing this. Galing. Ang ganda ng ginagawa nyo for this one, and I really hope that I made it worth your time, and I provided value for you and your community.
Final message to
Mhm.
to everyone, your thoughts, like things that you really
Uh,
want to your advocacy.
these are trying times. These are trying times, but this is something na I'm very very sure we can overcome. Ibang resolve ng mga Pilipino. We've been through a lot. We've been through a lot. We've been through slavery. We've been through different eras of war. This is nothing new to us. Okay? This is a problem. There's a solution. Let's just do it. Make sure that you're mindful of others, be respectful, keep spreading love, especially the time wherein it's easier to hate. Okay, be a better person. Okay, be a better person. Be a good human being. Kumbaga, that's something that I've been advocating ever since. Be a good human being, and if you are feeling down or you feel low, it's always a good thing to reach out to a friend and have that conversation. Okay? More than anything, mental health is very, very important during these times. So never fear or don't feel that you'll be judged because you're reaching out. You'll be surprised. There are a lot of people willing to listen. Okay, there are a lot of people willing to listen talaga. So that's it. That's it. Thank you so much, Doc, for doing this.
Again, maraming salamat to those who are watching right now. If you like our content, if you find value on what we're doing, like, share, comment, and subscribe.
Mm-hmm.
Hit the notification bell. Don't forget,
Mm-hmm.
Franco. After this, I would like to ask for the links of your social media account so that
Mm-hmm.
we could
Yeah,
attach it on the video itself. So, but
for
again,
sure.
maraming salamat to everyone. Stay safe, be safe, and God bless you all. More power. Franco, Professor Franco Rolluda, maraming salamat. Sawadee kap.
Yep, yep.